Good morning, students. Very welcome to all my dear students in our video lesson. As you know, we have changed some schedule because of some timetable issue. So we will start our Zoom class from Monday. So till now we are continuing with the video class. So today we are going to take after revision our first unit number 1, and in that we are going to take poem number 1, What a Bird Thought. This is our first chapter of this 5th standard English subject academic year 21-22. So I hope you all are good at home and seated with pen, pencil and notebook with your textbook to understand with better way. So we are moving ahead. So everyone be ready. Here you can see our first poem is What a Bird Thought. In this, the poem What a Bird Thought is a narration by a bird. There is no poet for this poem, but this poem is narrated by to whom? By a bird, wherein it describes the experience of growing up and the way it seems the world. So here we will see our first stanza. I lived first in a little house and lived there very well. The world to me was very small and round and made of pale blue shell. I hope you all also reciting this poem behind me. So once again I am reading this. You should recite behind me. I lived first in a little house and lived there very well. The world to me was small and round and made of pale blue shell. So in this, the bird is talking about his childhood when he was in a eggshell, and he is telling about how he was thinking, that how he feels in that shell. So here is the meaning. In the first stanza, the bird talks about how well it used to live in a little house that was small. I lived first in a little house. The bird is telling that I lived first in a little house and lived there very well. So bird talks about how well it used to live in a little house that was small, round and made up of light colored shell. It means light blue color shell. Here the bird refers to the egg that it hatched from. We are moving to our second stanza. I lived next in a little nest, nor needed any other. I thought the world was made up of straw and covered by my mother. I lived next in a little nest. After, when he hatched out from the egg, then after what he feels about the world, he describes in this stanza. So we will see its meaning. Further, the bird says that it lived in a little nest which was protected by its mother. Since it was living in the nest, the bird thought that the world was made up of dry grasses. So in this you can see the first in the first stanza what he thought about, that pale blue shell is his world, but after coming out of that he saw a nest. So he realized that pale blue shell means that egg was not my world. This is my world, which is protected by my mother. And this world is my this made up of dry grass is my world. In third stanza you can see, one day I fluttered from the nest to see what I could find. I said, the world is made up of leaves. I have been very blind. When he growing more, he saw that he is between a green grasses, leaves, and the straws. What he thought after growing some more, so we can see here in the third stanza. So recited this poem, this stanza again. One day I fluttered from the nest to see what I could find. I said, the world is made of leaves. I have been very blind. So you can see here in this stanza, as the bird grew older and struggled to fly, it noticed that the world was made up of green leaves of the tree, and not just the dry grass that surrounded its nest. It means, comparatively, you can see here what bird exactly want to tell. When she was in pale blue shell, he thought this is his world. Afterwards, coming out of that shell, he realized that straws build the house built up of straw, that is his home. But when he tries to fly out, he saw the green grasses surrounded to him and the dry grasses. This is the world. But you can find the exact in a fourth stanza. We are moving in it. At last I flew beyond the tree and saw the sky so blue. Now, how the world is really made, I cannot tell. Can you? Here you can see, at last, when the bird grew old enough to fly away from the nest, it flew past the trees and saw the blue sky stretched afar. The bird is confused, and at the end, the poem by posing a question to the reader. The bird is confused and ends the poem by posing a question to the reader. It asks us if you can tell what the world is really made up of. Because you saw in the first stanza, the pale blue shell was his first world. Second, the dry grasses and the straws, that was his world. But when he grows more older than that, he realized that his house is made up of straw, dries, green leaves. That is the world. But when he fly away in the high at sky, then he realized it is the real world. So this poem is end by a question to the reader: can you tell what the world is really made up of? I hope you all understood this. Just watching while watching this video, please take a screenshot of this so you can understand it proper meaning. Afterwards, we are going ahead to take question and answer of this textbook, and this question and answer will be your assignment. So question number 1, do as directed. First, find and list the rhyming word from the extract. Answer: well, shell. Other, mother. Find, blind. Blue, you. Next, second, describe the following in 1 or 2 lines. The first little house of the world. We need to describe this. What was the first little house of the bird? Answer is the first little house of the bird is actually an egg. It is small and round in shape and pale blue in color. Pale blue means light blue in color. Second, we need to describe about the nest. How the nest was. Answer is the nest is made up of dry grass and is small in size. Third need to describe the question is the world around the bird's nest. Answer is the world around the bird nest is vast. It includes the green leaves of a tree and an open blue sky. Third question, pick out three adjectives from the extracts. Answer is small, round, and little. So please students, just take a screenshot of this will help you to write down this question as assignment in your notebook. These are the exercise questions. Finally, next fourth question is pick out three nouns from the extract. So answer is nest, tree, and sky. And the last imaginary question, how you can imagine. Imagine the following and write about each in your own words. The first one, what the world looks like to a baby. If there is a baby, what he think about the world? Answer is the world of a baby consists of its mother, father, and a few other family members. A baby's world include a crib, the walls of a room where it stay, the crib toys, the windows, the blue skies, and the streets full of people. Since a baby is little, the world looks big to it. And the last question of this exercise is what the world looks like to a fish. Answer is the world looks blue to a fish since it is an aquatic animal surrounded by water. Coral reefs and underwater plants of various type makes the world of a fish very colorful. So I hope student you all understood the four stanzas and their meaning as well as these exercise questions. So please write down these all questions. This one, sorry, these all questions should be written. These all questions and that one also. Till fifth, question number 1 to 5th you should write in your notebook as assignment. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye bye.